We must clean, my brother. Leave these emotions. Those who have emotions, sit one side. The PA will sort out their things.
What about your South Nigerian kids, your half Nigerian, half South African, that are fighting for their fathers to stay?
You know, my president says it so nicely. That child has got a grandmother somewhere and a grandfather. It's time the child must go visit the grandfather. Right? Go see how it looks on the other side. So this thing of you coming here, you get married, and then there's no spousal relations. Just getting a paper. Those things we must nullify those things. And if
Okay.
that woman wants that man, she must go with him to Nigeria. Go see your in-laws for a while. You know, ask that guy. We don't play with first beginnings, man.
No?
Yeah, we want to recognize everything when it starts.
So you're gonna do a spin around now?
Yeah, we'll make a plan. Don't worry.
Ah, calm.
We'll make a plan.
This is not just another political promise, no?
You see, we deliver on the promises before the election.
Ah, you.
If I make a promise for the 5th of November and the 6th of November, you know, hey,
I'm,
leave that guy.
wait, I'm gonna make sure we have. You do have that on tape.
We're speaking about Brian. In Castle I, well, Castle Zero for you guys. We're still on the job.
Yeah. The bay is broken and everybody wants to fix it. Now, we want to know if the PA is a solution or another coalition. I'm not here alone. I'm not here alone today. I'm here with the candidate mayor. Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
I think first, let me say, guys, you have a beautiful setup. I wish you all the best for your podcast. I know you guys are hype. I'm struggling to keep up with the energy levels. But my name is Bradley Murray. I am the mayoral candidate for the Patriotic Alliance for the upcoming elections that will take place on the 4th of November. Yeah, I think the Nelson Mandela Bay has got some serious questions that needs answering. And I think in just the opening statement is that residents should know what they voted for in 2021. It got us the mess we have now. So this coming year, they need to start voting right, or at least come out to vote.
Okay.
But thank you for having me on the show. I'm sure we're gonna touch on some nice issues and also some hot topics, hot ones. I saw the list. I saw Abahambe is on there. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And thank you to the viewers.
No. It's an honor to have you, sir. But before anything else, right? It's June's Men's Mental Health Month. I want to ask, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm tired. I am also excited. You know, we've never been at the place where we are now as the party. And myself as a mayoral candidate, you know, it's a lot of strain you take. Because you need to make sure you lead your party to victory in this metro. Same like all the other mayoral candidates throughout the country. But other than that, we are coping. We are winning. You know, we wake up every day. We thank God for the ability to open up our eyes. Our family is there. Our kids are there. They are healthy. So yeah, you know, there are guys that's going through a lot of things. And like men, we don't speak out. And it's just one of the things where, you know, it's a reason why we have this month. To encourage men, you know, we are still just human. We go through our things, even if you find your little corner alone and you deal with yourself, do that. But also make sure to reward yourself. Now and then, I'm a diabetic. I can't take sugar. Now and then, I'll go buy me the smallest chocolate and take the smallest bite. You know, just to say, well done, brah. You've done good today.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, thanks. And how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Not as a mouthful like mine.
No, I don't have what to say. But
Sure.
I'm okay, man. I'm great. I'm excited. For you who doesn't know, nah, I'm also opening what you call this, my own ventures with this episode as well, right? It's a double venture. It's a GLC venture, as you're gonna feature on GLC, but it's more so my personal branding as well, right? So since I'm having you as the first guest,
What? Thank you,
on my
guys.
brand,
Thank you so much. I'm
know,
honored. Thank you so much.
so I'm excited. Everything is just going positive, you
Nice.
know.
Nice.
So with that being said, right, we're not going to dwell on us for long. We're here to speak about you, the
Okay.
PA,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
How are you guys on the national stage? You teamed up with the ANC and the DA and all of these other guys in the coalition. How do you guys then go from city to city and go against them when you guys are a team up top?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So you have to break everything down and sort of deal with the issues per city, right? In Nelson Mandela Bay, we were also in a coalition with the ANC.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disrespect, there's a lot of corruption going on here, and we exited that coalition.
Oh,
Myself, I was a councillor in a MMC for roads and transport. So I was the political head for roads and transport, right? I was in charge of 22 million budget per month. So that's
okay.
in excess of $250 million for the year. And we had another councillor that was in charge for economic development. And that was part of the coalition with the EFF and the ANC and all the other parties, UDM and those guys. And we took a decision to exit that because our values did not align with that of the EFF and the ANC within Nelson Mandela Bay, right? So there we took a back seat. We then took a decision that we only have 2 seats in this council. So our voice is very, very small.
The 2% last I checked.
Yeah, in this metro. So we don't really have much of a voice. Let us exit. Let us exit council as a whole. So I exited council as a councillor. We sent 2 new people in to go learn what is politics about. And we started rebuilding the party on the ground, where we get the votes, with the people on the ground. So basically what we've done is we went to go fetch a fresh mandate from the people as we had to for November, right? That is in Nelson Mandela Bay. On the GLU setup, right? The GNU, sorry, GLU is local government. GNU level, there's many parties there.
Okay.
And they young people that do their own thing and actually survive. I am a sucker. I'm a, what do you call this thing? I like the underdog.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
drawn to an underdog. That's just how my nature is. So of course, if there's an opportunity, I will gladly mention to the minister and say, Minister, hey, there's more people here, right? The more we can lift up and take with us, the better. Obviously, there's a lot of people watching, and they'll see what the PA is doing.
You Ryan, clip that, right? He said he likes uplifting people. The next time we upload another episode, there better be a change in scenery. I'm not saying from
we
who.
might, yeah, we might have a nice, bar set up at the back. Guys, you can cut that piece.
But on that, right, before I even continue with the political questions, did you always want to be a mayor or like politically aligned with anything? Like, when did you take that pivot? Like, I can tell you now, nah, I don't know if I'm ever going to be into politics 15 years, 20 years from now,
Sure.
right? But if I am, then it'll probably be because I got fed up because of what's happening. And okay, to be fair, I am getting fed up right now because of what I'm seeing around South Africa.
Sure.
5 years from now, I didn't care about politics.
Yeah.
When did it click for you that I can't just be fed up and talk about it with my friends or my mom? I should actually stand up and be the mayor and chase the change that I want to see.
Sure. So my journey was actually an accident. I, I'm a business person first and foremost. I come out of we call it in Afrikaans, the Scarce, which translates to the hustle,
I know it's
right? So I come from a hustle. I did not have money to go to school, to university. I knew in standard 6 or what is grade 8, I already knew that I will never see the front door of a university or college. Right? That is what I knew, unless somewhere my family won the lotto and was able to afford to send me.
okay. It
So
wasn't. It wasn't a smart thing.
no,
Okay.
no, it's nothing to do with smart. I'm a very smart person, I think. Right? But no, look, so where I grew up is I grew up in my house. We have 4 children, my mom, my dad. My parents always took in people. You know, there was always an aunt, a cousin, or somebody that grew up with us. There was never nobody there. There was never just mom, dad, and 4 children. Right? There was always an uncle and an aunt or something grew up with us. And my father and my mother, they had a tuck shop, Spaza shop. So I grew up in a Spaza shop. My family lived off a Spaza shop, right? So I learned to hustle from a very young age. I used to take my mother's products to school. We lived right next to the primary school. I used to go sell it. And sports days, I used to take like black bags full. And I used to go sell it. And for me, that was making money. And I enjoyed having money. Even today, I like having money.
Hey.
Right? It's nice to just take out something and just buy a cool
But-
drink or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever you need. So that is basically my background. So on that basis, I knew that university is far-fetched. Very, very far-fetched. So I started into business, venturing into business. Right after school, I became a taxi driver. So I drove taxis for about a year or so, and then I bought my first taxi. And then I started like buying taxis. Then after that, I saw a gap in the market with takeaways. And then I started buying takeaways in Berman Road, Deal Party. And I became the guy that owned almost all. There was only one white guy that owned the takeaway. The rest of the takeaways was mine, right? And then from there, I ventured into many other things where basically it led me to real estate. So now I'm into real estate. I buy real estate, I sell it. I have student accommodations. In December coming now, God willing, if I get my licenses, I will be one of only 3 frail care registered licensed frail cares in the city. Right? There's many others now that is operating illegally, but I'll be one of the only ones, and then we'll have properties for all people to live in. So that is where I am now. So that has always been my journey. You know, develop yourself, um, learn. I read a lot. I love reading, and so I'm basically self-taught. Whatever little I know, I taught myself that little. But I think my journey into politics and why I said it's an accident is my wife and I were braaiing at home one day. It was a very nice day. We were braaiing. It was during the lockdown period, and we were sitting by the pool, and the kids were swimming, and we just had this moment where my wife was applying for jobs, right? My wife is a colored lady. She's applying for jobs, and
For yourself.
for herself,
Okay.
right? She was in a job, but she was looking around for better prospects. And every time she would be looked over because the criteria, she did not meet the criteria.
In what sense?
She was colored, right? Ads wanted African. Now, if we know how BEE works and we know how colored people are black, considered black in South Africa,
Yeah, they are black.
but they are not African. And when the jobs come out, the ad says they want an African, not a black. So we looked at this thing and we said to ourselves, you know what? I looked at my kids and I said, you know what? One day my kids is gonna
They're gonna go through the same
get to a
thing.
phase where they need to knock on a door. We can take them to university. But when they need to knock on a door for a job, what's gonna happen to them if the door opens and the door says, no, we don't want you. We want African.
Yeah.
Right? And that for us is where politics started. We then decided, look, we need to look around and see what we can do. We were very successful in business. We built our own little thingy, well, if you want to call it that. But our kids will not want to do what we want to do. They want to become, my son wants to be a doctor. My daughter wants to be an engineer, more into the space than this. But I know for a fact I will not be able to help them on that side because that's a government policy. So nothing to do with entrepreneurship. So nothing to do with how successful your parents are. Government decides when you knock on the door, they'll give the job on this basis. And that is the real reason and the only reason we said we want to look into politics. Because if we can make a change for our children, I can make a change for all the other children in my community. And that's where it really started. And the only party that we could find at that time that was speaking up for colored people was the PA. There was no other party that resonated with us. We said, all right, let's put our weight behind this party and let's jump in. We jumped in, and then all of a sudden, I got a call up, come in, become a counselor, become a political aide for roads and transport, and then take us to election. So I've been with the PA for the last 7 years, and yeah, still going strong.
And your wife was supportive when you joining?
My wife actually was very supportive, but my wife has now taken a leadership role in the party. So she's now
Oh.
my boss. So my wife, my wife is the provincial chairperson in the Eastern Cape,
Okay.
right, for the party. So she's leading the party on a provincial level, and my job is to take the party to elections. So the next 4.5 months, my job is to take us to November 4. And my wife is a professional. She's an engineer. She's a software engineer.
Okay.
She has a day job.
Okay.
She's got a business. She runs a very successful business. It's an online store. It functions without her. She's also got these cologne thingies. What do you call it?
Yeah.
That was the time my English gets finished. when I say thingies, it's getting there. So she got a successful cologne. She's got a factory in Cape Town,
Okay.
and it functions without her.
That's amazing.
And but she's really putting her weight behind the PA.
What brand is that?
Kitty Bella.
Kitty Bella.
Yeah. Kitty Bella has been in PE for a while. It used to be linked with all the he's working on these modeling shows and fashion weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll show you when we're done.
Yeah.
So she's into politics as well. I'm
Okay.
into politics. Our lives has revolved around politics. Our kids love the fact that, their parents sometimes are on the TV, sometimes on a podcast, sometimes we get bullets in an envelope sent to us.
Wait.
They don't love that part. They don't know about that part, but these are things that is out there.
Okay.
And in a nutshell, I think that is where my journey started with the PA. We did not plan it. Initially it was almost selfish. We wanted something for our kids. And eventually now it turned into representing everybody else.
I can't lie, no. I truly believe if you're gonna venture into something, before you even think about everyone around you, you have to be selfish. I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine. There was something that I was frustrated about, nah? And he said, the answer is very simple. Your mind already has the answer, but the heart is still stuck in this way. Before you even save anybody else around you, you have to save yourself.
Sure.
Because you can't just jump to save other people, yet
Agree.
you still need saving.
I agree.
So I'm not against you actually having a selfish reason and joining the political party.
Yeah. Some people say you can't give from an empty cup.
Exactly.
Fill your cup first, and when it starts overflowing, you start giving.
Yeah.
Something like that. I know it makes me sound very wise.
But like you also mentioned that on the when you were on the coalition, you had your time where you were given a 22 million rand budget monthly. In that time, what did you do for the city?
All right. So roads and transport, there's 4 components, right? There's design and implementation. There is IPTS, it's the BRT pass system, and then there's actual roads and stormwater.
So potholes and everything is not you.
So potholes is a smaller part of the thing, right? Potholes is like an ongoing thing. Potholes, you'll wake up today, there's a pothole. You'll fix it. Tomorrow you'll wake up, there's a pothole a little bit further down the road. So potholes is a continuous thing. It doesn't go away. It will never go away. It's not possible for a pothole to go away unless we start designing roads that cannot get potholes. That the roads doesn't exist yet, in South Africa at least. So what we've done is when we came into that department, the city has got a IPTS bus system, right? It has been dilapidated. It's been standing for probably two years, right? These are the buses that the city bought for 2010 World Cup. I don't know if you remember. It's these long
I was
buses.
young.
Young. I was young too, but yeah.
Different term,
Let's not
different
go
kinds of
down.
young.
Let's
Different
not
kinds
go.
of young.
Let's not go down that road of comparing ages now. So these buses were standing, but it's old buses. So what we've done is we managed to enter into agreement between Volvo, the municipality, and the taxi industry, as well as Algoa Bus. It's a lot. It's a lot more technical than just fixing a bus, right? Because these buses initially was created to remove the taxis from the roads, right? And to formalize the taxi industry. So I come from the taxi industry. I know that it's a cash industry. You can make a lot of money and not pay a single cent of tax.
Apparently, it's a billion rand industry.
Say again?
Apparently, it's a billion rand industry. I heard.
It is. It's a cash industry. It's money that flows every single day, right? Same like Spaza shops.
Yeah.
So negotiating for taxis bosses to give in their taxis and give them a stake in the buses. It's not an easy thing, right? People died already in that processes. It's because there's money involved, and you can't bring everybody into the system at one time. You have to choose who goes first, and that's normally a situation where the taxi guys will not understand each other. They won't find each other. Like let's say I have a taxi, you have a taxi. I have 5 taxis, you have 5 taxis. Now the system comes and says, guys, we are taking 20 taxis. Now I will give you my 2 or 3 taxis, but now it gets to your side, they say, no, we're full. Your taxi is, you're not benefiting from these buses at all, right?
Okay.
And that is what happened in that system for many, many years. When we came in, we made an agreement with the taxi industry, with Algoa Bus Company, and we actually got them to form a joint venture, Algoa Bus Company and the taxi industry, to start a new company, and we hand them the services as the bus rapid transport system, the IPTS.
Okay.
So we gave them something that was supposed to be theirs in 2010 already. The PA came and we did that. We've got a beautiful relationship today with the taxi industry.
Is it these red long buses?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
ones. So that buses currently they are operated by the taxi industry.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We've also negotiated with Department of Transport to expand because that one started in northern areas.
I think it's still there. The last I checked, it's
Yeah.
from town to the northern areas,
Yeah.
and I've never seen it in Green Acres
And
or
that's the
going to
problem.
Motherwell.
So Motherwell doesn't get the services.
Yeah.
New Brighton doesn't get. Kariga doesn't get. Konabusle doesn't get. Woma doesn't get. You know. So we said we must expand because these services can't just be for colored people. The same way we say colored people must also get job. We are also saying, but black people are also there. They need to benefit. White people need to benefit. Right? Indian people need to benefit. So let's open up this thing. Let's bring in more routes. So we open up Kariga route, which will hopefully open up in the next 6 to 7 months.
Okay.
And we open up Konabusle route. After that, the system goes to Motherwell, goes to New Brighton, goes to Green Acres, goes to Summerstrand. So all these taxi industries will now start jumping in. You're going to start seeing less taxis on the road and more of the buses coming.
Okay.
So that's one of the things, one of our successes. So there's 4 departments.
Okay. Wait.
I'm
Before
just going to deal with one.
wait, before you cross over to that, right? How do you then, if you're gonna include more buses and less taxis, how are you gonna replace those guys' jobs, the taxi drivers' jobs? Because less taxis and more buses carry you more quantities. So you don't need to have about 20 taxis or about 3 to 4 taxis to carry about a certain number of people. How are you going to subsidize those guys or put those guys in work? Because more buses, less drivers.
Sure. So there's 2 components to it. There's a bus and then there's a taxi, right? So the reason why you see the bus and you don't see the taxi is because the taxi is a feeder, right? So your bus, let's take Main Road, Governor Betty,
Okay.
right? From here all the way to up until where, let's call it, what do you call the area in Sillier, School, Sydenham or Sidwell?
Okay.
It's a straight road. So the main buses will drive on the artery, the main artery, right? then you'll get these little bus stops where they stop, right? I don't know if you've seen it. So the long bus will stop there. The taxis will come from the communities and bring the people out to the artery, right? So that is what's happening. In the northern areas, you have Stanford Road, which is the main artery. Then you have Galvindale, Shorter, Bloemendal, Boysen Park, all these areas. The buses don't necessarily drive through all the streets. There are taxis that's driving the people to the main collection points. And then from there, they get into the bigger buses. So the taxis are still there, but it is an IPTS taxi now. It's no longer owned by an owner. It's no longer owned by a private person. It's brought into the company between taxi industry and Algoa Bus Company.
Putting these guys on the side.
Yeah. So the drivers are still having a job.
Okay.
There's a component now that upskills the drivers. So they go through a training process and they become code 14 drivers, right? So they come from taxi drivers, go through a program, become code 14 drivers, and they drive the buses. That bus starts 4 o'clock in the morning, they end like 11 o'clock at night. So it's like 3 drivers per day, whereas previously one driver would drive a taxi from 5 in the morning till 10 at night.
Okay.
So there's a bigger job opportunity, but it's also a process of development for these guys. If that answers the question.
No. I hear you. Now you can carry on with your components. I just wanted to ask that question.
So that was the bus component. Then you get your roads and you get your stormwater. But I think the thing I want to focus on is design and implementation. In design and implementation is the ones where you take an RDP area or you take a piece of land that's earmarked for RDP, right? It is our job and responsibility to put in stormwater drains, stormwater catchment areas, and build roads in that area. And that is the one department we've always used all our budget. Every single.
So you're saying you fix the drains,
You build new ones.
you build new ones.
So RDP. So let's say there's informal settlement, right?
Okay.
There's checks there. Government allows or they allocate the land to be developed for RDP houses. They will then subdivide it and say, all right, on this piece of land we'll build like 500 houses. Then DNI, which is design and implementation within roads and transport, my department would come in and we will first put down the infrastructure. New pipes, new drains. So when it rains, there's flow of stormwater, right? Then when we're done, we'll build the roads.
Okay.
And they will build a different partner will come and build the houses.
So-
And that department we've always spent all our money on that department.
So on those areas specifically, there hasn't been any floods even after the heavy rains that have happened so far in the past couple of months, past couple of weeks, and so on.
There will always be floods. There will always be floods. So,
But no, in the sense that you see, what's this place now? That the name will come back to me sometime now. But there's like a whole lot of flooding that's happening around here in PE,
Yeah.
right? And it's not just because the way the roads are designed and so on and so on. It's because there aren't enough drainage systems, right?
Yeah.
And the pipes aren't like taking this water to where it's supposed to be. So, how did you guys, or how will you actually handle that?
yeah. So there you need more money. I'm the first one to say, and I said it last night because last night budget was passed in the city, right? Council was sitting until 1 o'clock this morning. They are still sitting now as we speak on the issue of a city manager because the city, we don't have a city manager at the moment.
Yeah, he's been suspended on pay for 2 years. What's
2
going
years.
on with that?
That's a topic for another day. That is it's just recklessness. But remember, when we started speaking, I don't think we were recording yet. I said it, maybe it was in my intro. I said people need to go and vote right,
Yeah.
or at least come out to vote, right? Because if you don't, you will get a coalition like this. Since 2021 up until now, that city manager has been off for 2.5 years.
On full pay, which is
We
crazy.
spent over 10 million rand
On him.
as a on the city manager
Okay.
because she needs to get a full pay. She gets like 2.6 million, 2.5 million per
year.
annum, right?
Okay.
She's been off for 2.5 years. That's close to 6-7 million rand. then we need to pay an acting city manager the exact same amount that she gets. So we've been paying double up. We've been paying her to sit at home, and we've been paying acting city
Wait,
managers.
sorry, on this notion, right, of paying people that are not at work, how do you guys, like, what's going on with that? How do you suspend someone on full pay? Right, like, explain this to me like I'm a 6-year-old right now, because I'm genuinely trying to understand that part.
So that is the
Nah.
law. It's the same as you are arrested, right? You are arrested, but you are going through a process of the court will decide are you guilty or are you not guilty, right? Now the same thing when somebody is suspended, when the council suspends a senior manager, council suspends that person on a basis of maybe an allegation, right? But that allegation needs to be tried and tested in court or in a disciplinary hearing. And once that disciplinary hearing is done, then only you can say this one is not guilty or guilty. So the law the law is clear on that. When somebody is suspended and you suspend them on the basis of an allegation, right? That person must still get paid until it's proven that he or she has committed the crime, right?
Okay.
So that's why you get bail, you come out and you sit outside until your court appearance come. Your verdict is in, you are guilty, and then you go to jail. Let's take Julius Malema. He's currently guilty. He received a sentence, but he's
Yeah.
sitting outside. We would have loved to see Julius in jail, right? But the law is the law.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the law is the law. So the city manager is the same way. She has not been found guilty of the allegation that the ENC brought against her, right? My personal belief is, and that of our party, is that it's a personal issue between a faction within the ANC and Dr. Gwazi, which is the suspended city manager.
Okay.
My view is Dr. Gwazi has always been the best city manager, right? She's like the person that will say no to you when something is wrong, and she will support you when something is right. She will make things work if you are on the right track.
Okay.
If all the laws are ticked off, she will support you. But if you want to come with underhanded dealings, she's
Okay.
going to block you completely. Now, there's 3 factions of the ANC in the city.
Okay.
2 of them don't want her. 1 of them would want her back, but they don't have the numbers in council to bring her back. You understand? So she's on suspension. I believe it's a political thing. The city right now is bleeding because of that. Yesterday we didn't have a city manager. It was the last day because her contract was only for 1 month. A city, bruh, we have 23 billion rand budget. We need to spend 23 billion in 12 months.
I read somewhere now that the infrastructure budget was 24 billion and only 17% of it was spent.
So maybe it was 2.4 billion.
2.4 billion.
2.4 billion, yeah.
Okay.
And so many of the budgets are not being spent right now because we don't have senior management. We have acting city managers for the last 2.5, almost 3 years. We don't have executive directors. Now, the hierarchy structure works like this. The city manager is the boss, right? Government is divided into 2 spheres. One political, one administrative.
Okay.
The political head of the city is the mayor. But the administrative head of the city is the city manager, right? Mayor can't do administrative things. Mayor can't go and fix a drain there and do things herself. City manager must implement those things. Under the city manager, you will get executive directors. These are senior managers that's highly qualified to do the job. We don't have one executive director in Nelson Mandela Bay. Not one. There's 10 departments, including the 2.4 billion that you spoke about, which
Okay.
falls under infrastructure and engineering. There is not a permanent executive director. Now, what does that lead us to? If I have to make a decision as a lower director, I have to make an executive decision in an acting position, right? I'm not going to take my job that serious because I'm dealing with big money. Once you move into the executive space, you are moving into a political conundrum.
Okay.
You are now becoming target for the factions of the ANC, the factions of the EFF. Even in the DA, there are factions. You are practically like I was the political head for roads and transport. There's an administrative head for roads and transport. He's the one that must make everything, that must make things happen. So all the parties will come for him or her, right? It's a hot seat. We don't have any of those people. Everybody's acting, so nobody wants to take the job serious, right? Even our city manager. So that's currently where we are sitting. Our position is very simple. If we have the numbers after 5 November, we will bring Dr. Gwazi back with immediate effect. She must come somewhere 4 o'clock on 5 November. She must come back. Right? We can't pay
Yeah.
people to act and they don't want to do the job because the acting doesn't allow them to for the freedom,
Okay.
to do the job. If that answers it. So we support the current suspended city manager to come back and do a
Okay.
job that she's being paid for. And we don't have to pay 2 people.
Okay.
Right? I don't think that's a train smash. She's employed for 5 years. She's been suspended for almost 3 years, and her contract finishes in March. So she's been more on suspension than what she has worked, and that all because of political issues
Okay.
between parties.
No, I hear you.
That
No,
makes sense.
no, 100%. No? Now, with that being said, how do you guys plan on convincing us right, to vote for you guys? Like,
Yeah.
promise us something right now because, and also don't just promise us something, right? Like, actually stay on your word because I feel like the reason why a whole lot of South Africans right now don't even trust politics and don't trust parties is because we've been getting promises since forever. But political parties have only been delivering on 2% of the promises and not the whole thing, right? Even as you speaking right now, how do we not have what you call those people appointed for those roles? And yet the city's bleeding, right?
Yeah.
So how are you campaigning differently from all of these other guys? How are you going to be more different from the current mayor? How are you going to be more different from what DA is going to say, what EFF is going to say? Like, why should we trust you guys to handle our city?
All right. So, to answer it in a simple way, is that the PA has never made any promises. And that's the one thing we never do in any of our campaigns. For the last 13 years, that's how old the party is. We've never made promises to say this is what we will do, right? This is what we are going to do. We will tell you this is what we would like to do. But for that, we need power, right? You look at the DA, you look at the ANC. Both of them has run the city multiple times, right? So, for the sake of your own sanity, don't go do something you've already done and it didn't work. So at least count that 2 out, DA and ANC. We've had many of them, didn't work. We had Retief Odendaal, we had Ngaba Banga, we had Ethel Trollop. What have we achieved with them in the DA? The ANC exactly the same. We had all their mayors, what have we achieved? We had a UDM mayor, what have we achieved? One thing we have never had is a PA mayor, right? People can go and look at the track record of us having mayoral committee portfolios, which is roads and transport. Go judge us on what we've done in that small little corner, right? And you can Google my name, you will see it. My Facebook accounts are open. I don't have that privacy setting where you don't see me, right? Even my phone number is on my Facebook. You go in there, it's there. You can see what I ate last night, and where I was.
Yeah.
The transparency is of such a nature. You can go verify what has this guy done for
Okay.
Nelson Mandela Bay, right? And then when we go to elections, there are things where we would like to do, but we cannot do that if we are going to campaign for a coalition. One statement that I make over and over and over, and I boldly say it, is that there's not one mayoral candidate that has the right to make a promise to the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay if they are campaigning for a coalition,
Okay.
right? If your intention is to campaign for a coalition, you cannot make a promise, right? Because if we are five in a room, if we are five in this room, right? And my campaign is that all of us will govern equally. I cannot solely make a promise because your promise might be different from mine,
Yes.
right? You might have an opposite promise. Like, let's take the foreign issue. I cannot campaign for a coalition if EFF is going to be part of the coalition because our ideologies when it comes to foreigners is not the same. We are worlds apart.
Yeah.
They call them brothers. They rape our sisters. You understand?
I hear you.
These are things that we can't put in one discussion. So if there's somebody that will say, look, we are campaigning, we just want 2 seats for a coalition. Even Retief said it the other day on another podcast. He said something to the lines that some people are good in coalitions that they will consider. So he's already telling the people that I'm campaigning for a coalition, meaning that what I promise you now is subject to the approval of those people that will be in my circle, that will be in my coalition when we take office or if we take office, right? The PA, we campaign for a full-out majority. And that is the promises we can put on the table. This is what we want to do, but we need a full majority, right? We would like to go and put out illegal foreigners tomorrow if we take office today, right? But we know if the EFF is part of it and the ANC is part of it, it's not going to happen. We'll have to fight internally first. So the coalition, based on ideology, the coalitions are already a mess up. I wanted to say F up. For the lack of a better word. We are already screwed. You understand? So let's not promise people things. The basic thing people want is if the tap opens, they want water to come out. If they switch on the light, they want lights to be there. Right now, my house is without electricity. I'm now out for 3 weeks. Right? I've got water. I've got water tanks on my yard, but I don't have electricity to pump it to my taps.
Okay.
So when the taps are dry and there's no electricity, we are stranded, right? There are areas that's been off for 3 months. The people just want simple things, basic services. Let's fix the infrastructure. Let's make sure there's water to the taps. These are basic human rights. Right? You must give that to people. You cannot not let people have water. So let's fix the small things, man. And to come to the question of why should people trust us? Let's say they don't trust us. Don't trust us yet. Trust is something that you have a choice, right? They say respect is earned. Right? I would say respect is a choice. When I came in here, I haven't met you yet.
Yes.
I have a choice. Do I respect you or do I disrespect you?
Yes, sir.
I have to make that choice on the basis of not knowing who you are, right? So the same with trust. I need to decide if I come in here, hey, these guys are not gonna rob me. So I don't know this area. I don't know, you know. And I asked my friend, hey, because he always walks with the firearm. I say, hey, you got your firearm? Because when we came in here, we were like, hey, this thing is dark here, young. Where are we? We have a choice to trust. Don't worry, he's a peaceful guy. He's a very loving guy.
I don't want to die.
No, don't worry, you never.
Yeah.
So, guys, politics is dangerous. It's dangerous.
You said you received a bullet.
yeah.
That's more than convincing.
Yeah, I did receive a bullet. But the trust issue, presidents must decide. They've got options. They've got ANC, but they've had ANC. Will they stick with it? That's their choice. They've had DA. They voted for DA before, so they made a choice, right? Whether you trust the PA or not, judge us on what we have done with the little power that we have, right? And know that if you don't vote, you don't have. I can tell you now, you come to me. I have friends now. They don't vote. When they want to complain in Afrikaans, I'll tell them fuck off. You don't have the right to complain, and especially not to me.
Fierce.
You do not have the right to complain when you don't go use your vote.
Yeah.
or just at least exercise your right to go vote. Then you can complain. Because now if you don't do it, there's 10,000 others. There's 50,000 others. There's almost I think there's almost 2.6 million people that's registered to vote, but they do not cast their vote. Now imagine you get the government that was voted in by these people that just vote ANC till they die. There's a saying in Afrikaans, tot my kus sak, meaning that until my coffin goes down. You get the staunchness of that, especially in the Eastern Cape.
Especially in
People
the Eastern
still
Cape.
vote ANC.
But can I just counter this, man?
Yeah.
The thing is with the ANC, right? Well, it goes back to it's gonna hop on this notion. We can't run away from the fact the majority of the people that vote are older people, and the reason why older people are voting and the youth is not voting is because the parties don't necessarily cater to the youth,
Sure.
right? Youth unemployment has raised to about 60%, if not more, right? So the political parties keep on hopping on the notion, vote, 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 and this is what's going to happen. But how do you convince people that you've never helped
Yeah.
and you've always went for their elders
Yeah.
to help you?
Sure.
How are you going to talk to the youth when you've never done anything for the youth?
Yeah.
I think that's the notion of the people constantly voting for the ANC. And frankly, you also can't blame them because the ANC took them from apartheid, right? And that's that. And okay, I'm not like, let me not disclose what I'm on right now, right? Let me not disclose what I'm on. But the point that I'm trying to make, right, is that majority of the voters are older people. And it's going to stay like that, unfortunately, until the political parties also start catering to the youth and start campaigning for the youth and start putting the youth in power, right? Usually when I talk to the elders in my family now, they always hop on the notion of Woodsy, you're still too young. This, that. You wouldn't understand, right? And when I look at South Africa as a whole, even when I look at Parliament, the people in Parliament are almost dead. Majority of them, they're like, they're literally standing next to their graves, right? And I'm guessing they're also on the same notion. They also look at the youth of South Africa with the same eye of, you wouldn't understand. You're still too young,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Now, how are you actually going to convince the youth? I feel like that's how I should have phrased that question rather. How are you going to convince the youth to start voting? How do you plan on taking care of the youth, right? My friend recently graduated and has been applying for jobs. He graduated last year. And he's been applying for the jobs since last year till now.
Sure.
Government jobs, all kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
How do you plan on catering to people like those? How do you plan to convince him to vote for you or any political party at that when you didn't even take care of him? Why should he put his trust in you?
Sure.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing.
So I think PA has already done that. We've already shown South African youth that we are the only party that put young people into parliament. Right? You can Google now. Take out your phone, Google. Right now, who's the youngest MP? You will see she's from the PA. She's 19 years old.
Damn.
From school, she's a parliamentarian and she's one of the best parliament. When she speaks in parliament, Cupcakes does not sleep. Cupcakes, serious guys. Go look at her. Her
You're right.
name is Jasmine, right? She's the youngest MP that has ever been. She's in parliament and she's a dynamic, young, small man. Just prachtig, if you want to say it. She's she's what South Africa needs, right? But what the PA has done is the PA is we put two of them. One has now exited parliament to go study further, right? So we've already displayed that the PA will bring you the youngest MP, while the ANC and DA and all EFF will bring you the old toppies, the uncles that doesn't want to take your doesn't want to take you seriously because you are too young, right? We believe that you cannot send the older person in to fix younger problems. There are things that I don't know, and I've got two teenagers in my house. We are not winning the battle at this age. We're not winning that battle. They need to fight that battle. So we need to create the platforms where these young ones are raised up in politics, but given a platform, right? In the PA, in Nelson Mandela Bay. So my job is to make sure that I present to the city 60 councillors, right? My youngest councillor is a beautiful young black girl. She's 18 years old. She just finished school. She's going to stand in Ward 25, New Brighton, for the PA. It's a platform. Whether she wins against the ANC, she's 18 years old. She's going to stand against ANC, EFF, MK, SACP, and all the others. But she took a decision, I'm going to stand. And I'm going to land with this one. Young people must not also expect handouts. Because this life is tough, right? Very, very tough. Don't expect people to hand you something, right? And when I came in, I looked at this place and I already decided, I don't know you, but I'm going to respect you. Because the kind of hustle you put up here is somebody that needs to be elevated and needs to be given a platform. But you do get young people that it's easier to complain. But when you ask, all right, give me your CV, you will find they don't have a CV yet. That is laziness. There's not young people looking for opportunities, right? It's just pure laziness. So in the PA, we say, we can open the doors, but we are not going to spoon feed you. You are going to work your way into this thing. So like our candidates, New Brighton, Motherwell, Kwanabusle, we have white candidates, we have Indian candidates, black candidates, colored candidates. They know we all come from different parts of life. But we've all been in South Africa for the last 30, 31 years. We all face the same challenges, right? White child, black child, colored child is born on the same day in the city. They will come out of the hospital and they will face the same challenges everybody faces, irrespective of the color. If there's water, if there's no water, if there's potholes, if there's electricity issues, they will face their challenges. We are saying let us move away from the color thing now. BEE has had its 30 years. Let's put it on the side. Let's give everybody an equal chance. And let's invest in these young ones. But with a disclaimer, don't expect a silver spoon. Don't expect a handout. Young people must stand up now and come work for the things that they want. And I'm using these candidates as an example because some of them might be very disappointed on the 4th of November. But they were the only young black girl, young black man, young white girl that stood up against the DA in the white areas, against the EFF, ANC, and MK in the black areas, right, in the townships. But they stood up. We can respect that they took the first step. Then from there, we can carry them forward. We can pick them up where they are broken, right? So these are things that the PA, we don't promise, we've already done it. We've already committed to it by giving this country the youngest MP in the history of South Africa. And I'm going to end it again with reiterating when Jasmine speaks. Just go when you're done tonight. Go into Parliament, Jasmine. I think Jasmine Peterson.
Yeah.
When she speaks, look at Cupcakes. Cupcakes is awake, my brother. He is awake. He does not. When Julius comes up, he goes sleeps. You know, when everybody else up, the president goes sleeps.
Yeah.
Even the other day, there was the EFF guy. He was speaking, and while he was speaking, the president just took a thing and then said, see there, he's sleeping again, he's sleeping again. So, yeah, anyways. But yeah, the PA is already doing those things. And we are still a party that's growing, but we are growing super, super fast. Very, very fast. People can't look past the PA anymore. We are at the table. We are busy with talks. Yes, when our minister went in as the Minister of Sports, we would have preferred him to go in as the Minister of Home Affairs or the Minister of Police, right? But he's doing a brilliant job there. But being around the table it allows us to bring the party's view on foreign nationals, illegal foreign nationals, on Spaza shops that's being run in this country illegally, right? And now you see what's happening in the country. That didn't just fall out of the sky. People eventually got the message and they got tired and they started seeing, but hey, this thing isn't right, man. Our children are actually dying because of this.
You know, actually, to get on that, right? Um, the foreign national thing. Um, Gayton McKenzie, and I quote, if I see a Mozambican that needs oxygen at a hospital and a South African that needs oxygen in the hospital, I'm taking that oxygen from that Mozambican and I'm giving it to the South African. That's what Gayton McKenzie said. I'm not saying it what you call this word to word, obviously, but how do you think the people take that in, internalize that, and then see the whole party as a whole? Because also Gayton McKenzie also doesn't have like a good past track record of things, coming from being a gangster in prison and so on, and being tied to Abu Kenny Kunen and whatever scandals that they've been hopping on. Doesn't that affect the party in any type of way? Because other people before they look at the party, they look at the leader of the party.
So,
How does that affect you guys?
so if you follow the track record of the party, we are the only party that's growing.
Okay.
So that would be your answer. We are the only party that speaks the things that is on the minds of people that don't want to utter them, right? We are the only party that we couldn't give a damn about being politically correct. If the thing affects us, it affects us. We will not come and say nice words to make you feel good on your show or to go there and make people to pacify them. If our women and our young daughters are being raped and killed, and they were being used for prostitution, these are realities. Just around where we are now, it's a hub for prostitution. You think who's there? Who's running the prostitution rings here up in the road? It's
Yeah.
Nigerians. We must not be afraid to speak the things that we see, right? And if the people didn't like what the PA is saying, what our President Gayton McKenzie is saying, then we would not grow. But right now, we are the only party that's winning wards away from the ANC. Not even the EFF can take a ward from the ANC. We've taken multiple. In Kokama, we've taken 3. In Gravrenet, the other day, we've taken 2. One. In BCM, which is the stronghold of Oscar Mabuyane.
Okay.
Next week, there's 2 by-elections that we created because those councillors of the ANC came to the PA. They left the ANC, they came to the PA, and that created a by-election. So next week, Wednesday, we're going to have an election, 2 elections in Ward 1 and Ward 10. If people were too sensitive and they don't like what Gayton McKenzie is saying, this party would never have received 1 seat in parliament. But we managed to overtake Freedom Front Plus that's been there for how many years? UDM, PAC, ACDP. There's a lot of CAC parties also. But we managed to overtake every single one of them to become the 6th largest party in this country. And we missed the IFP shy of a few votes to become the 5th largest party. That doesn't just happen.
Facts.
What we say is what people are not don't want to say. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna land with this one. President Cyril Ramaphosa knew for a fact that he's not ready. And this country, well, the country is ready, but the ANC was never ready to have Gayton McKenzie as the Minister of Police or the Minister of Home Affairs. There would have been big cut in this country if they've given him those 2 portfolios. You see what he does with sport. Can you imagine what he will do with Home Affairs? With our stance on Abahambe?
Yeah.
People want what the PA is saying loudly. People are now only starting to act. We've said it since 2021. 2021, elections, after the elections, I was sworn in as a councillor. The very next day, myself, the other councillors, the members of the PA, and my president, Gayton McKenzie, we walked into Durban Road and we started closing up shops. They were selling expired stuff. We did that. That was 2021. From there, we've just grown into 9 seats in parliament. Now we are going into local election.
Are those shops running now?
They're still running. Still running. We don't have the power to close them. The ANC is in control. And when the ANC is not in control, the DA was in control. So the appetite from these parties, you'll never find the DA talking about closing illegal foreigners' shops. They don't want. The job is too dirty, man. Right? It's like getting in a drain. You must get your hands dirty. The DA is not used to that. The ANC couldn't be bothered by these things because it doesn't affect them. They are there for their own personal agendas, right? So the party that speaks on it and that acts on it is the party that I would recommend you guys vote for.
Right, and on the Abahambe movement, right? I was actually doing a bit of reading on this, and South Africa doesn't have a lot of deportation buses. And with that being said, how do you propose that this whole notion should go? Do you think the whole notion of Abahambe is a bit too violent? And should these foreigners disappear or like be deported, how do you plan on deporting that? And how do you plan on filling their positions? Because as much as the foreigners are going to leave, we also can't run away from the fact that these guys offer cheap labor, right?
And that's the problem.
I get that. But how do you plan on filling all of these positions? Because some of the skills that they offer, right, the average South African doesn't have.
Like what? Name one.
These guys come through with these cheap mats that they make, right? I'm not saying the skill is impossible to acquire, but a lot of us don't know how to do that. And frankly, I'm not even bothered to actually get into making a mat. Right? I can only imagine how many people are sitting in the position that I'm sitting in, right? And there are also a few legal foreigners that are in South Africa. How do you plan on tackling that, and how do you plan on getting rid of all of these guys that aren't here legally? And how do you differentiate from them when you see them in the street? Because now you got these guys in KZN just going around whipping everybody. It's just like, yeah, how do you plan on
I
doing
saw
that?
them. You guys are strong, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Even me, when I see them, I'll go into my room. I'll lock the door. They might think I'm from India. So I'll just be safe for that day.
Jay, and there's also a voice note that was going around of this other woman telling this, and you're too black. They want to think you're from Nigeria.
I actually heard something. I heard something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's nice to have some humor in it, but ne, laws are there for a reason, right? Everything that you just mentioned, I think is a lot of bullshit. I think it's a compassion that it's really unnecessary. The only time a foreigner should come into South Africa to come work, this is according to our constitution, is number one, he comes in legally, right? And number two, if he can work here, he really need to bring a scarce skill, something that we cannot do. Make you an example. A scarce skills, I used to work at, what do you call this place? Car rentals, many years back. And there was a doctor. He's from, I think he was from Pakistan or somewhere there. But he's a surgeon, right? But he's a specialist in his field where there's only like 3 doctors in South Africa performing that thing. So he literally flies to 3 cities, probably a day, to perform these surgeries.
Okay.
Right? The need is too big, but the surgeons are too little. So he comes in with legal papers. He gets a scarce skill permit to say that I'm here to do this operation. There's only 2 other doctors in South Africa that can do that. But this is the workload, right? So on that basis, the country allows the doctor to, I'll never forget him, Dr. Azar. He comes in every Tuesday He comes to Mercantile, he used to come to Mercantile in Green Acres. He would hire the same car from me every single Tuesday for almost a year. Dr. Azar, I'll never forget that name. That guy was here legally, right? He was allowed to work and earn money in this country legally. Now, do we have a problem with Dr. Azar? We
No.
don't have a problem. Because Dr. Azar is actually coming to help us, right? Now, let's take Abdulli. Abdulli walks across the river. He comes through Botswana over the Kruger fence. By some miracle, he
Dodging
makes it
crocodiles.
into South Africa, right? The guy is illegal. We don't know he's here. We've got no clue he's here. He comes in, he gets involved with dodgy things. He comes into your house, he rapes your mother, rapes your sister, he kills you. All the fingerprints is in the house. It's there.
But you can't find him.
You can't trace Abdulli because
He's not-
it does not exist on any system in South Africa,
He's a ghost.
right? So I always make this example because I want people to get the reality first. Because that bullshit you were just talking about, that is just nonsense. Making maths is, bruh, if you go to the township, you will have a different respect for our people. I'm saying colored townships and black townships. There are people that makes things that nobody is buying because the cheap labor comes from across the border illegally to come put them down.
Okay.
Right? So the compassion, I don't think it's warranted to have that kind of compassion for somebody that's digging a trench or a Zimbabwe plumber or an electrician. These are things that we have.
So initially, you're saying South Africa doesn't have a xenophobic problem.
We don't have a xenophobic. I don't believe we have a xenophobic. We have an us problem. We are tired that we are not getting. We are not looking after us 1st. We are looking after everybody. Go to Livingston now. Go see how people are sleeping for 2 days, 3 days before they can see a nurse. Then you see how many foreigners are sitting there. And just ask them, where's your papers? Legally in this country, you must have a medical insurance if you want to come here. On paper.
Yeah.
I go to America. My son and my wife just went to Uganda for a chess tournament. Right? So my son plays SHS. But they can't go there without travel insurance and medical insurance. Anything happens there, that country will ask you, where's the stuff? Because you need to pay. Right? Why do we need Livingston to be overpopulated with foreigners? They are supposed to be by Green Acres Hospital because legally they are supposed to have medical insurance. They don't have it. Right? Water, electricity. We are losing close to 12 billion rand in revenue from electricity. It's electricity that the city is buying from Eskom that they need to pay Eskom for. But the electricity is not being paid for. Right? Then you go and look at you take Durban Road, for instance. Go look at how many illegal connections there are. There are factories running on free electricity in that place. There must come a time where we say, look, enough is enough. We cannot take it anymore. Right? We need to take a decision now. Do we act or do we allow this to play out another 10 years? If your friend who graduated with whatever degree cannot get a job, my brother, nobody else is standing a chance. Not even the guy that's laying bricks stands a chance against the foreigners. Right? Plumbing is not a scarce skills. Electricity is not a scarce skills.
Teaching.
Anything else. Teaching is not a scarce skills.
You have too much of those.
Being in university is a lecturer is not a scarce skills.
Yeah.
We are developing. We are the factory of creating lecturers. We're telling we can't use what we've created to teach the other ones. It's an insult to us. Right? Why do you need a foreign teacher? Whether it's legally or illegally in a country.
I was going to hop onto that.
So your illegal foreigners, you'll find them, the Zimbabweans, Nigerians, they'll do the dodgy things, they'll do the cheap labor, right? Then you'll get the ones that comes in to become teachers at Western High, at PSNI, or whatever other schools. I'm making examples of these schools, right? We don't need a foreigner to come teach here. You can't tell me we don't have teachers in our system, right? So our stance will never change on Abamba.
But
In fact, we need to amplify that right now. The country is ready. Right now, the country is ready.
but then you see on this thing you mentioned, right? On this thing you mentioned, Woodsie, these schools hire these foreign teachers. I was also in a school where I think we had one foreign guy. Doesn't that speak volumes now on the people that are actually hiring these people,
Yes,
right? How do you then deal with these people that hire these people, because they are the bigger problem.
sure.
We can't run away from that companies would prefer these foreign people because these guys are cheaper.
Of course. Now, there's nothing new about that. The laws of South Africa has been there for a very long time. The problem we have is implementation of the laws, right? We have Border Management Authority. They've got drones now, but people are still flocking in. So it's an implementation problem that we are sitting with. Officials are not doing their jobs, and we need to deal with that officials. And we're happy with what the president has said the other day. He actually mentioned if you are employing illegal foreigners, you can and you will go to jail, right? It has been the law ever since. But for some reason now this topic is hot. The country is ready for it, and the government is now reacting. The ANC is only now reacting because they are no longer the main peanut in the packet.
They're only doing it for votes.
Even if it's for votes,
Yeah.
if we get the foreigners out and our people can take over their own Spaza. I grew up in a Spaza shop, I mean. I grew up, my whole life was Spaza shop. I'm alive because the Spaza shop brought me that far, right? Our people know how to run businesses. They know how to run businesses. But let us give them their space back. They cannot compete in this market. They cannot compete with counterfeit goods. I'm going to close with this one. I bought a real estate franchise 2007, right? In Cape Town, I brought it to PE. Very successful company. Became one of the youngest entrepreneurs in the franchise base,
Okay.
right? I had an office. I had Bangladeshis coming to me one day. Into my office, they wanted to rent a warehouse for one day, only 24 hours. They were going to pay me 25,000 rand.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not interested. Remember, there was no PA back then. I didn't know. There wasn't a PA. I wasn't in politics. I was a businessman, right? But something about this didn't sound right. What are you doing
For
with
a
the
day,
warehouse for one day?
25,000.
I then I sent them away. I think I gave them a referral to somebody that owns warehouses. And long story short, the next week, I read in the paper that 7 Bangladeshis was arrested. They hijacked 2 trucks. One was a cool baked beans truck. The other one was a grandpa truck,
Damn it.
right? A truck. I'm talking about these big trucks.
Yeah.
Talking about the grandpas was like 26, 27 million rand worth of
Yeah,
warehouse.
that was God
The
looking
baked
out for
beans as
you.
well. They found them in a warehouse. Yeah, bruh. I was almost, if I was involved there, I would have been,
And I
I
God was
would have
like,
been,
God was like, yeah, my brother, don't do that.
hey, you know.
Yeah.
So they, that is what's happening in our city. You cannot compete against a mafia state that is run by illegal foreigners. I cannot, if I had a Spaza shop, I cannot compete against baked beans that you stole for free. And I have to buy it and sell it for like 13, 14%
Because now
profit.
you're making 100%
You
profit.
are making 100% profit. And what they do is that their trucks, they offload their trucks in less than 3 hours. They phone all their brothers and they just come take on consignment. They'll pay again. That's how quickly, it's done. How do you compete as a South African against that criminality? We must clean, my brother. Leave these emotions. Those who have emotions, sit one side. The PA will sort out their things.
What about your South Nigerian kids, your half Nigerian, half South African, that are fighting for their fathers to stay?
You know, my president says it so nicely. That child has got a grandmother somewhere and a grandfather. It's time that child must go visit the grandfather a little bit. Right? Go see how it looks on the other side. So this thing of you coming here, you get married, and then there's no There's no spousal relations. Just getting a paper. Those things we must nullify those things. And if
Okay.
that woman wants that man, she must go with him to Nigeria. Go see your in-laws for a while. You know, he
Yeah.
can't just see his in-laws here. You must also go see his family a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find out you like it there, you'll stay there.
Okay.
You see? But yeah, guys, there's only one PA. There's only one PA. And if what we are saying is totally out of line, we will not get the votes. We will not grow. We are the fastest growing party in this city. Right now, we are number 4, the fourth largest party in terms of percentage-wise based on 2024 elections. We are on par with EFF, and we believe we are taking them over. So PA and EFF does not
I can't lie,
want
nah.
ten oil.
Looking at the situation that's currently happening in South Africa right now, I feel like anybody could win. From
It's a fair game.
yeah, now it's a fair game now, because when the people started crying about these foreign problems, all of these guys kept quiet,
Yep.
right? And to be fair, this thing of foreigners is not a new thing. People
Sure.
have been crying from the longest time. I remember being in high school, and the same things were being said, right? And I was in primary, the same things were being said, and these political parties have been quiet.
Sure.
And then the job thing, on the other hand, has also been an increasing cry as well. And now that the people have complained about East London, about the king being coronated, the Nigerian king in East London, that was like the cherry on top,
Sure.
right?
I think that was a fire lighter. That was the fire
Yeah,
starter.
I did say that to my friends. I
That,
was
that
like,
was a fire starter.
yeah, yeah. With that being said, right, it put all of these guys in a point where they kept quiet watching us cry, right? So now it's going to be a matter of we just want to see the right person and hear the right thing, and then it's going to be fair.
Yeah.
We're going to vote for the right party that says the right things. Julius only lost the votes. Well, I think he only lost the votes because he started saying things like, they're our brothers, and all
Open
of that,
borders.
right?
So the EFF believes in open borders.
Which is,
Let's entertain that. Let's entertain it for 1 minute. Let's say, for argument's sake,
okay.
let's give them a benefit of the doubt. Right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say the EFF say, no, we must open up all the borders in Africa because before the white man came here, there was no borders.
Yeah.
Right? Now, let's say that is fair game.
Okay.
Why does when the borders are gone, why is everybody coming then down now to this corner here in the south?
Everybody wants to
Why is
unite in
nobody
South
going to
Africa.
Uganda, into Zimbabwe, into Kenya and Nigeria? Why must the open borders only apply to South Africa?
Yeah.
Right? Why are we using only the resources of South Africa for that? So I think Julius is losing that one big time by calling for open borders and calling the brothers.
And ANC is also losing it for not doing anything about it.
They haven't done anything for 30 years. Only now, when the pressure is applied,
Because now
they are
they're
forced to
seeing
do
that they're
something.
not, yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, that is politics, my man. It is interesting. And I will close my session with this. You might not be involved in politics. You might not want to get involved in politics. But politics will decide for you irrespective.
Speak to the youth for me. Like, look at that
Yeah.
camera. Tell the youth something. The youth of this city and the youth of South Africa as well. But let's mainly focus it on the people of this city, since you're running for this city.
So politics will decide for you, right? This is a city that has 23 point something billion rand budget, right? That budget will decide whether you get water, whether you get services. But it will also decide whether your sports facilities are upgraded or not. These are all political decisions that's being made for you. So when you play ball, there's no grass on your field, it's politics. When you come home and your grandmother opens a tap, there's no water, it's politics. When you switch on the light, there's no lights coming on, it's politics. So whether you want to be in politics or not, whether you want to vote or not, one thing is guaranteed. Politics will still decide for you whether you are involved or not. By getting involved in politics, you have a chance to rewrite a story, at least for your community, and then your city, and then your country. I'm gonna end it with that one.
But before you end it, give us something as the members here,
All right. Um,
and then we
so
close it off.
yeah. So you guys must not take for granted your platform, what you have. Right? You've got a mouthpiece, you've got a voice. Right? Young people need to hear things. You've got a responsibility bigger than what most people have to bring information to young people, because government is no longer giving information to young people, right? Government is no longer bringing that information of opportunity to the young people. The opportunity is always absorbed through politics, right? What should have gone to the youth is going to friends and cousins and kid fathers and baby mamas, right? That's the reality. Use your platform to bring these things to the people. Get involved in the council, get involved in politics, and show them what there is. Invite the other parties. Allow the young ones to make an informed decision.
I'll try it with the
Right.
mayor.
Hey, the mayor, hey,
She's
that one will
avoiding me.
talk more than what I'm talking.
No?
But she like herself now. Oh, she can talk about herself a lot. Well, I'm just gossiping now. See? But guys, I wanted to just say thank you, and you've got a beautiful setup. Use it, and I'm so proud to be the first one here on this setup, and I'm hoping it's not gonna be the last one.
That's what I'm hoping too.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you graced us with your presence, sir. And I'm going to try to convince these guys to do something for the PA as well in the
Sure.
voting section. Not like-
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely, we
But
appreciate.
until next time, guys, like, subscribe, do the thing that needs to be done. Put a black kid on. Easy.